Bienvenue à Bordeaux, ça va, Katia and Paul? Yes, great to be here in Bordeaux for the start of the Rugby World Cup, which is finally underway. A nation rejoiced in Paris last night as France got off to a winning start against New Zealand. But let's face it, all our attention is going to be here in Bordeaux today, where Ireland start their campaign just about 5 kilometres up the road at Stade de Bordeaux against Romania. Huge expectations carried with this Irish team, world number 1 coming into the tournament, but then we've been there before, haven't we? And we know about World Cup disappointments. And joining me to chat about it all is a man who knows all about the highs and the lows of Rugby World Cups with Ireland, and his dulcet tones will be on the commentary today on Virgin Media 1. Alan, it's great to have you with us. I know you were having a jog in there. I just grabbed you off the boardwalk.
I just finished doing a workout, Tommy. I haven't happy memories of Bordeaux in 2007. I'm not even sure where that famous hotel is. I've kind of tried to get rid of that out of my mind, but yeah, it wasn't good the last time Ireland were here.
Are you enjoying it a bit more this time, and do you have better expectations for what's going to happen this time?
Well, I think it doesn't really matter what I think in a sense of how Ireland go, really, because it's really how they've prepared themselves. I'm sure they will obviously have, it's come up a fair bit within the squad. Within the press, I should say, about the preparation for that World Cup and how we probably got things wrong and where we were staying and all that kind of stuff. No such excuses are going to be used this time, because I think Ireland's preparation has been really pleasing for them. I think they've really enjoyed it. Obviously staying in tours, coming down here for a few days. I'm sure they've got all the hotel locations and everything perfect for them. But it's really exciting. I think it's there's a lot of pressure with this for Ireland, but I think they're ready to embrace it.
It's funny you should say about the hotel is just a few 100 metres up the road, and some of the players have been seen on little scooters out venturing around, going for coffees, generally having a bit more freedom and enjoying themselves. So hopefully that'll translate then when the games start. As for today's game, Alan, Romania are one of the minnows of the tournament. They're a second lowest ranked team, and nobody expects Ireland not to win. So what constitutes a good day at the office today for Ireland?
That's a good question, Tommy. I think Andy Farrell would love to get a bit of a flow to his game today and lay down a marker. I think send out a message to the rest of the competitors and potential challengers. So I think it's important that the last time this team really played, it was against England. That's a few weeks ago, and lots of people are asking about what team will be picked next week, and a little bit surprised that he went so strong today. So they need game time, minutes under their belt, and they need to kind of up the ante and change gears a little bit. So I think I'd like to see them, scoring lots of tries. Obviously, they should win the game comfortably. They certainly won't. The memory of 2007 won't be completely gone out of Paul. Is probably the only one that's there. He's involved in the coaching staff, but everyone's well aware that we had two easy fixtures in 2007 and they didn't work out like that. So they've got to respect Romania. Vern Cotter's involved with them. I think they'll be competitive and they'll try and make it difficult for Ireland. The weather is going to be a factor. So Andy Farrell to get through at the end of it, that everyone in the 23 gets some game time and they get a good flow to their game and hopefully don't get any injuries.
They look like they're sort of hitting their straps and building into the business end.
It's difficult, obviously, with the level of opposition you're playing to really judge it, so we don't know, but these games are kind of banana skins, they call them. You've got to get a big score. Ireland have, I think, for themselves, laid down a marker, and I'd be pretty ruthless today.
Yeah, and I think that was the sort of the vibe around the squad. We were listening to and attending the press conferences during the week. It's very much getting down to business time. That was the message they were getting across. Just a note on last night, because talking to a lot of the Irish fans yesterday, a lot of them were kind of, when they were talking about their hopes of the World Cup, saying well, let's have a look and see how France and New Zealand goes, because that may obviously be relevant to Ireland down the line if we get out of the group. What conclusions are you drawing from that game in what was in the end looked a pretty comfortable French win?
It was a comfortable French win in the end. The second half was very dominant performance from France. They didn't let New Zealand anywhere near, bar the try from Talia in the second half, and probably those 2 tries were the only kind of periods of. They had some line breaks, New Zealand, so they caused France a few issues, but France's dominance, particularly around the set piece and their forward power in that second half, was really telling. So lots of mistakes and errors. I think it was really hot as well, which is going to play a factor in a lot of these early games. But France at home, the momentum of the crowd, the quality of the players they have, they're going to be very, very difficult to stop. That's one thing that just jumped out at me last night. If you're playing France in that stadium with that crowd behind them, it'll take some team to beat them. It'll take some team to beat them. But look, it was a great start. It was a great atmosphere, and Ireland have just got to focus on their pool games and try and get out of the group, and obviously Scotland are going to have a big say in what happens in this group.
Yeah, like you're talking about atmosphere, like I was in Paris, obviously the game, but here in Bordeaux and the scenes, lots of Irish and the Welsh fans, loads of them as well. They're playing on Sunday here, mixing with the French out last night. An absolute carnival atmosphere, and that's just final point just to make, Alan, is that everybody's just such great excitement about this tournament. I don't know whether it's because it's here in France with everything that involves. The fact that the tournament itself, people expect to be really competitive and really engaging, and lots of interesting games. And even this weekend, there's so much to look forward to as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it is, and it's no surprise that there's so many Irish after travelling here, and that will happen throughout the tournament. Hopefully, some will have booked last pool game, quarterfinals, that kind of those couple of games. But it's not a surprise. The Irish travel so well everywhere for any of their sporting heroes or national teams. And it's wonderful to see. You know, they'll really enjoy themselves. It's really important that they get behind the team. Like I said at the start, there's a certain amount of pressure on this group. I think it certainly focuses the mind, Tommy, that the side of the draw that Ireland are on, maybe it'll be a good thing that they know there's no easy path here, and they've got to be switched on for every game. And I think Andy Farrell will know that, and hopefully the crowd can enjoy it as well and get a good start today.
Well, listen, thanks for that, Alan. I'll let you go and rest your vocal cords. Alan and Dave McIntyre will be commentating on the game on Virgin Media 1, 2:30 Irish time kick-off. Loads of Irish fans here taking in their morning stroll, maybe going for a croissant and a coffee before heading up to the stadium. They're in for a cracking day's entertainment, we hope. So that's it from Bordeaux. A little too early to sample the region's most famous product, so just going to have another café au lait.